One, two. Now I remember what I was saying. Um, before I wasn't sure if they were just dying due to timing out or due to running out of health. They do actually time out, so that is on the table. Just you don't see any like it summons a so and so for so long. It just summons so and so. So I wasn't entirely sure. Ooh, nice. Hmm. I'll take it. I can break it down. Break it down. Wow, never actually grabbed this. Almost thought I saw FF14 UI. That something's like hunting journal target there on one of the enemies. I think it was this sun indicator. Sure tuned warm plate. Somehow this is like pre-people or metalworking, and there's already warm plate. Actually, there's like almost faint village outlines here. No, no, no. It's just dirt mounds. You know, looking at this map really makes me think this was like an old school open world RPG where we could just go everywhere. Just have an airship and fly the fuck around. Oh, the goddess of Cell was a giant serpent. That's why they were grinding up those other serpents, probably. It's children of the god. You know, gotta finish them off. And probably just general pointless, I'm evil sadism. So many things to get. So few points. You never know what could spawn. Remember before when I was playing Diablo 3, just turning over random peasant corpse and getting Leoric's crown. Right at the start of the game. Later on I remember turning over another body and I got some great sword. Fumes. I keep forgetting what I'm saying and then getting concerned about it. My head's just foggy as shit right now. Oh yeah, I kind of remember. That was good. Crisis averted. So why aren't y'all killing each other? Why do all the enemies have like peace treaties with each other? Why do they only want to violate the MPA and with me, non-aggression pact, NAP, yeah, NAP.
Stand down or die.
All right. Healed yourself or an ally recently? Hmm. That's Z. Bye-bye.
Ah, remind me to look up a spell for masking sense. Alright, I think we're far enough away from her.
I'm willing to take her help if she's truthful, but I'm not ready to be reckless. Let's do the same thing we did back in Majolka. I'll use my portals and scout around while you make sure nothing follows us and decimate whatever gets in your way. Going to what I learned, the head or some aqueducts. We'll meet there. Stay safe. Why don't you fight everything for once? I will not second against them. I'm not a fighter like you. Honestly, if it weren't for you, I'd still be in a cage in a dreadnought or worse. Inside one of Zarek's interrogation chambers. I owe you my life a few times over. Enough chatting, let's keep moving. Yeah, I could not go through stories like this, nor could I fight congealed sludge. Oh god, my OCD would just explode out of my mind. I would be gibbering. By sheer concentrated OCD, I would start levitating true. I would just start breaking the laws of physics. Or just start rending my own flesh. One or the other.
Stand down or die.
So either there'll be like a dimensional rift, you know, just tears in the fabric of space-time around me, or I'm just like ripping out my own eyes. One or the other. Burning flesh. Ooh, Fallen Osprix. Remember the guys from the start of the game? They worshipped the same sun god as us, Ryla.
I cannot do that.
So these are just, I guess, with her dead, this is a withered, degenerated form of them. Who knows what else has happened to their race, species. That's the one thing that annoys me between IRL and fantasy. In fantasy, you talk about races, and it's like human, elf, troll, Draenei, goblin, orc. You talk about race IRL, and it's just like skin pigmentation. Um, it's a lot more. It's a lot more mundane. It's not the like if you've just seen race used in fantasy and then suddenly you see it used IRL. It's kind of a weird, or the other way around. It will throw you to shit because it's just such a jump in usage. Strange. Hammer Swarm. But yeah, it's such a difference between the two. Because like, human race wise, we're all, the same species. Yeah? But, then you look at humans in WoW and Draenei. They're separate races, but they're separate species as well. They've no genetic connection, no nothing. They're from outright different planets. One's a blue alien goat man, and the other's human. So, it's rather weird to me. I'm waiting for someone to take issue with that point, but I don't know how. Honestly, I've a saying. No matter what you think, someone out there believes it. No matter what you come up with, someone out there believes it. And if they don't, give it 5 minutes. No matter how insane, no matter how crazy something may be, someone out there believes it. Someone out there thinks it, believes it, breathes it. And if they don't somehow, give it 5 minutes. Someone will. No matter how deranged or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs it is, someone will. Trust me, I've seen enough crazy people online. Yeah. I remember hearing about a tribe in Papua New Guinea that believed that boys couldn't, when a boy grew into a man, he wouldn't be able to procreate with a woman without assistance when he was younger. Basically, as part of their process of becoming a man, so their seed, actually works, they ritually rape the boys of their tribe. Okay, let me start this again. Basically, they believe that a boy needs to swallow the seed of an adult member of their tribe, so when that boy becomes a man, he can actually have a kid. His seed will work. It's activated now. So they ritually rape their kids to do this. apparently. Maybe not exactly father to son, but male tribesman to kid tribesman. It's pretty fucking insane. Maybe ritual's the wrong word, but I don't fucking care. They're a band of nut jobs. Like, whoever practices that, I don't care who you know, who they are, where they're from, they're a fucking nut job. And that's being polite. I'm in a funk right now, so I'm just trying to focus on the game and not get too wound up. But yeah, they're fucking weird. At least that's what I've heard online. I can't say I entirely know if it's true or not. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, if you think it, someone probably out there probably believes it. If not, give it 5 minutes. Or, I suppose in this case, say if that tribe has since stopped, look back 5 minutes. You know, I know there was one tribe, I think again it was Papua New Guinea way, that practiced like ritualized cannibalism till quite recently, all things considered. Apparently, there was some ailment you could contract from cannibalization, some laughing disorder or something. I can't remember what it was anymore. But once they stopped doing it, the known cases in the world died off. So yeah. Wait, seriously? Jesus. Thank you. But yeah, so yeah, again, it's just simply if you can think of something, someone out there probably believes it. Someone out there believes it. And if they don't, you're either a bit late or you're a bit early. No matter how batshit something is, someone out there probably believes it. No matter how fucking batshit. I remember hearing about another guy called Jack Chick. Uh, I'm not sure what bent of Christian he was, but like there's so many different denominations. But he was Christian of some variety. Um, Maybe Protestant. I'm not sure, or maybe some American iteration. Mormon. I have no idea. But he believed that the Catholic Church, apparent from what I've read, I don't know how true it is, but apparently believe that the Catholic Church was founded by Satan, and the Catholic Church also founded Islam, and therefore Islam was founded by Satan. He believes that if you play D&D, you'll be inducted into a cult and learn actual magic, but if your character died, you would suicide as well. You would suicide over it. I also actually remember hearing, when D&D initially came out, there's apparently a court case about it, and they had one of the designers on the stand. Apparently, I can't remember, don't know if any of this is true, but I again wouldn't be surprised. And the designer's like, "Look, we're not casting magic. Look, there, I rolled some dice. See, no spell happened. Of course it didn't. Jesus protected me." Goes the lawyer. So yeah, But yeah, Jack Chick was fucking unhinged. So like, he's just came to mind there. I remember people were saying before that Mecca or a city nearby was a mecca for knowledge. Basically, believers and non-believers alike came together, and it was a great center of learning once upon a time. Beautiful, fantastic place. And then a nutjob came into power, believed Mats was the work of the devil, and proceeded to start killing the intelligentsia. The English during the Dark Ages also believed the same thing. That being said, mathematicians also believed that, but in a positive bent. John Dee was an occultist and mathematician. As a mathematician, he tried to use maths to predict the perfect day for, like, say, the Queen's coronation. He was in fact commissioned by the Queen to do so. Um, I'm not sure if that was influenced by his occultic beliefs or was it just him as a mathematician. But the peasants in that day believed that his maths, say knowing 1 plus 1 equals 2, was work of Satan and proceeded to trash his home. Because, as you know, the best way of dealing with anyone with a direct line to the great evil of your world is to just trash their home and, not just murk them. It just seems like you're slapping a bear in the face repeatedly, and it's just like you want them to eat you. Like, they believe he was like a direct line to Satan. Why would you want him to make use of that line against you? Well, like, if he's dead, maybe Satan won't take an action. Maybe he won't care. But he's alive, and he's asking Satan, begging Satan for help. Maybe Satan will actually do something now. Or maybe it'd be the other way around. Maybe he'll care more if he murked him. I have no idea. It just seems weird. But like I said, give it 5 minutes, someone will believe it. Or maybe you're just 5 minutes too late. Apparently for a long time, people believed in spontaneous generation. They believed that flies, like maggots, were just spawned on rotting bread because the bread was rotting. They didn't appear because they were laid on it as, larvae, as eggs, and then grew into maggots, then into flies or what have you. I don't know their evolution path, but that's apparently what they believed. They just spawned in because the bread is rotten, therefore it needs maggots. Spontaneous generation. I want to think it was just disconnected smart people. Like, you constantly see now, like, people reinventing, like, buses and whatnot, because the people are so disconnected from the world, they don't even know a bus is a thing, and end up reinventing it. So, maybe the smart people were disconnected from the world around them, and didn't realize, well, like, the fly giving birth, then into larva, well, then into maggot, then into fly, or, whatever. They don't see the circle of life because they're too disconnected from it. Who fucking knows? But apparently it was believed for quite a long time. A few centuries, from like ancient Greece till the Dark Ages-ish. Yeah, fuck if I know. I'm trying to remember a Wikipedia entry from quite a while back. Alric's gotten murked. Well, he's gotten attacked. I think I can hear fighting.
Too heavy.
tons of shards. Okay, how was the bird carrying an idol? Well, it's kind of large. Strong bird, I guess. Strong bat. These are probably the elementals. Yeah, presumably. Resistance is resistance. Yeah, I don't imagine that going too well. Obelisk is like a void god. Somehow it can dodge hits while just brainlessly crawling across the ground.
I cannot do that.
Wonder if it can dodge, you know, AoE hits. Well, I suppose it is dodging my blade, but, you know, like the ball of damage that slams the ground. Can it dodge that? You know, probably, but I'm curious. I like to know how things are. Okay, 1 sec. 09, 10, 11, 12. Alright. Catapult, Guardian, Shield. Guardian Warriors, Tower Shield. Oh, yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. Whatever. I was thinking it was bugging out.
you my life again.
I think I'm gonna take a break from scouting for a bit. Partially because they nearly tore me apart, but mainly because my knowledge of the way to this cathedral stops here. So I'm gonna lead us closer than this. We have to rely on that stranger after all. Let's go.
You've got to let me save you once in a while, eh? I owe you my life again.
Did you say it again?
I owe you my life again.
No. Thought I could hear something faint, but no. Eula's Haven. I wonder why in the ruined era did the Emperor end up in the Temple of Atera? Or well, down here in the Sanctum Bastille. It's a fair bit away. And given how he's killed the gods, he doesn't seem the type that would take set up retreats there, you know? I'm actually surprised that the temple was left standing. Part of me was thinking maybe it was an issue of them not being able to break it. But, also, if the Guardian was at the door, and there's apparently no way in, then how the hell did everyone else get in there? They must have had magic. They'll let them somehow bypass it. Or maybe they got in because they were corrupted by the void. That always bugs me in games. Like, you have to go through this whole arduous quest to unlock paths, and your allies are able to get there ahead of you with absolute ease. Or maybe not absolute ease, but they don't have to go do all the puzzles and shit that you have to do. For 300% damage taken. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that's working. Or maybe it did, but it certainly didn't help. Primus level of summon Bear Shard. Yeah, just play as Rexar. If I could somehow just aggro the whole dungeons onto me, I'll be quite happy. Most enemies are kind of like chaff swarms anyway. So, may as well get the chaff swarm over and done with. Like, the enemies aren't really, like... a challenge most of the time. I have died, yeah, but the enemies aren't typically a challenge. The dying was, you know, not standard. So, you know, if I could just have all the chaff run over here, that'd be great. I remember wanting that in WoW. Like, I'd be running the old dungeons. I'd love to just have a button at the start. Since I'd be just like mopping them up, running at all the enemies, then just blitzing them down. You know, maybe taking all the waves before packs before a boss and fighting them with the boss. Or maybe just taking all the waves of the dungeon and just running for the final boss, killing all the other bosses along the way, but leaving the other ads alive. And depending on what I was in the mood for. But, always wanted just to be able to hit a button and have all the enemies aggro on me and just like try and just leg it at me. That's what I always wanted. So nice of them to just have barricades, you know, making sure I don't, you know, wander away from where I should be going. %90 chance to poison? Jesus. Damn it. One sec.